Hey everybody, it's Bunny! Happy Halloween, everybody! Actually, it's All Hallows Eve. Today, I'm going to show you guys my absolute favorite thing about Halloween, which is assembling my notorious treat bags. And I think maybe I've done this video every year that I've been on YouTube. Correct me if I'm wrong. I love doing special things for the trick-or-treaters, exciting things for the trick-or-treaters. I don't just like giving out like one piece of candy. No. I like giving out entire bags that I stuff full of candy and toys and glowing bracelet things and sometimes money. So I'm not going to be able to show you guys my entire Halloween setup today because this week has been kind of insane and exceptionally creepy. One of the creepy experiences I vlogged about the other day, but believe it or not, I had an even more terrifying experience in my car on the road since then. Just craziness. But tomorrow I plan on showing you guys another big video chock full of my costume and kind of a little bit of our setup. And I have a giant cotton candy machine again this year. I'll be handing out little miniature sodas and stuff like that. So I will be able to show you guys like the setup and all of that cool stuff tomorrow. Unfortunately though, and I had people ask a lot last year why I did not show like the reaction of the trick-or-treaters and stuff getting the candy and the cotton candy and the treat bags and all of that kind of stuff. And that's shrimply because I'm trying to be respectful of strangers' children and families, and so I just don't want to film people's children without their permission. That sounds kind of horrifying. This is my favorite part of Halloween because for me, Halloween is a really big like family holiday, and it's always a battle with me to like be really creepy or kind of like tone it a lot down. So like the children will actually come up to my house because I remember when I was a little kid, like a lot of stuff like decorations that jump out at you. It was pretty intense when I was like 3, 4, and 5. Didn't want any bit of that. And in my neighborhood, I tend to get a lot of younger children instead of like teenagers and stuff like that. So I try and like tame it down, make it family friendly so I'm not scaring kids. I'm just gonna show you guys really quick the huge assortment. I generally try and like get a ton of this stuff the year before, like last year. I go out on November 1st and get a ton of these things that's like the toys. I want to make that specific. All of the candy is brand new and fresh from this year. But all of like the non-perishable items, like pencils and mazes and whistles and stuff like that, I try and get that the year before so I can get an absolute ton of it. I think I've also told you guys before, generally, I'm so excited that this year is Friday Halloween because I'm gonna get even more trick-or-treaters than I normally do. But normally I get over 100 trick-or-treaters, so we are gonna be up all night long tonight making treat bags. I learned the hard way this year not to buy like stretchy skeletons because they disintegrate. They kind of melted in here and they're a little bit sick. But I have bags and bags and bags and bags of these kinds of toys and pencils and everything else that I give out. So this on the table is a small sampling, but let me just go through and show you guys what I've got. I feel like I'm doing a lot of rambling today. You guys are my therapy. I'm so glad, and I have to make a completely different video about this, but just thank you guys so much. We hit 4 million Swamp family members today. How unbelievably exciting is that? So, but there will be a special video about that, not today. So today I'm just rambling at you. Starting out looking at the treat bags, I've got a ton of them. Some of them are shaped, like here's one that is ghost shaped. And then I've got some that have like little potion bottles. And I've got some like this that almost look kind of steampunk in design, skeletons and gears and stuff. I think I had these last year as well. I've got these that have jack-o'-lanterns on the bottom. I think those are all the ones that I pulled out right now. One of the first toys I have is zombie finger puppets. Fun for the whole family. Blah. I also have some of these like mini, I want to say they're like Kush balls, but they're not really like Kush balls, but they kind of are. Do you remember Kush balls? Weren't those fun? Look, catch! I'm throwing some stuff at you. Also, I've got some super cute, year-round acceptable to wear skeleton skull bracelets. I've also got your traditional spider rings. Who has not had one of these at some point in their life? I also have these, which are incredibly fun. They are like popper, kind of. Allow me to demonstrate. Can you see back here? We'll try back here. Okay, they've like got a suction cup and you press them down and then they pop up. And then they pop up. I'll wait. Ah! I've also got an assortment of pencils. Pencils were like my favorite thing to get when I was a young child trick-or-treating, which sounds kind of lame. What was your favorite thing to get trick-or-treating? Comment down and tell me down below. I also loved getting change when I was a kid. Like I had this guy in my neighborhood and he would give out handfuls of pennies and I thought that was the greatest thing ever. I don't even know if anybody cares about pennies anymore. I still care about pennies. If I see a penny, I will pick it up. Pennies are valuable, but pennies were like such a big deal. Pennies and nickels and stuff that people used to give me trick-or-treating as a child. I have an assortment of pencils. Some have eyeballs, some are just striped, some have skeletons. I think I've got ghosts and stuff in here somewhere. Oh, jack-o'-lanterns. One that says Happy Halloween. Just so many different designs. Love them all. And I also have these, which were like the greatest thing when I was a kid, which are the Papa Point pencils. They're kind of like mechanical pencils. They've got like a nice plasticky exterior. I got these for the first time ever, which have different characters on them. Some are SpongeBob, some are Dora the Explorer, and I think Ninja Turtle. I think I have a couple other ones, but they are packs, activity packs. You get like coloring book, and stickers, and 2 little miniature crayons. I also have these weird radioactive looking spiders. We don't exactly know what happened to them, but they glow in the dark now, and they're like neon colors. It's like a rainbow assortment. I also have this pile of stuff here that is called like a creature pack, and you get all kinds of different things in there. You get like skeleton finger puppets. There's lots of different kinds of finger puppets. I just grabbed the skeleton one. And you also get things like bats and spider webs with suction cups on the back, centipedes, who doesn't want one of those? And I also have, how many times have I said I also have? I also have these kind of plastic skeletons, which sometimes I tie like on the exterior of the treat bag. I've got some of these, which are just glow-in-the-dark plastic skulls. I've got some mazes, which Dogman and I were looking at these yesterday. They have no clear beginning or end, so they're just a maze with no goal, really. I don't know. I didn't make them. They come in an assortment of different Halloween shapes and colors. We got this one that looks like a cat. I also have some little miniature aliens. So cute. X-Files. I also have a ton of vampire teeth in all kinds of different colors. My personal favorite being teal because it's showing up really green, I think, on the iPhone camera, but they're like a blue-green teal color. Pretty magical. Swamp Family vampire fangs. The other thing that I have that I thought is so cute, one of my other favorite things to get as a child, is notepads. I've got these, which are actually sticky notes, and I thought these were so adorable. They came from Target, so I've got like a skull, and a mummy, and a coffin, and a jack-o'-lantern. I've got a bunch of different ones of these. Also, I have these kinds of notepads, which are just different designs, jack-o'-lanterns, witches. All right. I also have miniature puzzles, whistles, and kazoos, just so that kids can get these and just annoy their parents all night long. I'm so struggling that daylight savings time is coming for me, like the darkness. So also I have different stickers, and I try and get like these sticker books and tear them apart and just put like one sheet of stickers in the different bags. And I have bracelets like this, like the jelly band bracelets. I've got little miniature things of bubble solution, and the wand is included as well. I've got these kinds of little jointed skeleton people. I also have some rings with these kinds of skulls on them. I call these pirate rings, even though there's not really anything piratey about them. They look kind of piratey, right? Piratey. They are silver skull rings with glowing red eyeballs. Also new for this year, I found a bunch of smensels, which are scented pencils. And I got a huge variety of different scents. So there's things like cotton candy, bubblegum, black cherry, very berry, orange, and kinda cola. Look at what this scent is. Kinda cola? Kinda cola? What does that mean? Oh, it smells just like cola. I wonder why they call it kinda. I have to start opening these, but they are tubes of glow bracelets. So each one of these tubes contains 15 glow bracelets. I also have these large skull erasers. Don't those look nice? And I've got these adorable little parachute skeletons. Some of them have black parachutes and some of them have orange parachutes. Wow. And then the last thing that I have is probably what most children are looking for, which is the candy. And I've got a bunch sitting out here on the table over here that you can't see. So this is basically what my candy looks like. And it's just an assortment of probably every candy that you can imagine. I've got chocolate bars, Tootsie Rolls, lollipops, sassy sours, sour straws, M&M's, Skittles, Starburst, now and later. My personal favorite candy. Wow, look at the sun being real strange over there. My personal favorite Halloween candy, which is A, O. Henry bars, but they're impossible to find. And B, I've really gotten a craving for dots lately. Does anyone know dots? Dots, aren't these just the greatest candy ever? Probably you don't agree with me. Most people think that these are disgusting. The last thing that I shove in some of the treat bags is money. And I need to get a couple of $5 bills too. All I had was like some singles laying around the house right now. But I like to, in some of the treat bags, shove money in there. And I know that this is really not a lot of money these days, but when I was a kid, like I said before, I was impressed with pennies. So probably if you're like a younger child, you're impressed with like dollars and stuff. Dollars, $5 bills. So I just like fill them up as full as I can, close them with a twisty tie, and bam! You got yourself an awesome treat bag. Can you see my garbage in the background? That is horrifying. Happy Halloween, everyone. We eat Tostitos. That is it. I know that this was a super duper long video, and I'm sorry for that. I can't wait to see you guys tomorrow, and I can't wait to see all of the trick-or-treaters tomorrow. It's gonna be Halloween fun. And I love you guys so, so much, and I seriously cannot thank you enough for 4 million. I will figure out a good way to thank you. I just spat because that's how excited I am. But thank you guys so, so much for being here. And I love you so much. And I promise I'll see you tomorrow because that's Halloween. We're going to have some fun. So I will see y'all then. Bye.